Another teenager fighting for his life this morning after yet another stabbing, following 5 fatal knife attacks in just 6 days in London, and some of these deaths are children.
Well, today doctors are suggesting, get this, the schools stagger closing times because most stabbings on young teenagers happen on their way home from school. That is where we've got to as a country. 250 knife deaths this year in the United Kingdom, and the advice from doctors: stagger your times home from school in case you get stabbed to death. Unbelievable. We're joined now by Pastor Lorraine Jones, whose son Dwayne was fatally stabbed while helping a younger boy in South London, and former Met Police Superintendent Leroy Logan, who now advises the Youth Violence Commission. Welcome to both of you. Pastor Lorraine Jones, you've been at the sharp end of this. You lost your own son.
Yeah.
When you see now, 4 years later, this tidal wave of other families destroyed by what is going on, so many young people stabbed to death on the streets, A, how does it make you feel as a mother of a young boy who died in this way? Secondly, what can we do to stop this?
It makes me feel I've actually gone back into trauma because I know what these parents are feeling and the siblings, and the ripple effect is the worst. I feel let down. I'm ashamed that this can be happening in a country that I've been born in. There's a lot of failing going on, and the evidence is there. We're talking about human life, children's lives that are being killed in cold blood on the streets of London. It's a state of emergency. We know what to do. Parents like myself, community leaders, church leaders, governments, we've met with Sadiq, we've put together plans, proposals, we've come up with a brilliant strategy, but this is not being mapped out.
What is the strategy?
We're saying the public health approach, we've given it a name now, but still we've got thousands of children that are living in poor conditions, disrepair, houses infested with mice. They're not comfortable in their homes. The homes are broken. Poverty. Parents not being able to give their children the basic needs, which is warmth, shelter and food. The schools can't handle it. And so it's not just about the police. We need to go to the roots, which is the homes. What is being supported in the homes with the families and the children and the environment, the community? Still not enough community centres. Where can we meet with our children to engage with them and help them? Now they are sick. They're mentally ill. So the problem has got even worse because the resources still haven't gone on ground.
Leroy Logan, we've heard this morning said on the programme, this is a problem with gangs, this is a problem with drugs, this is a problem with parenting, this is a problem with the black community. What is the answer? I mean, is it any of those issues?
It's a whole matrix of issues, and you can't just say it's just one thing and it's not going to be one solution. Obviously, we need to have enforcement to lock up those people that are manipulating young people to get into the knives and the guns and just thug life as a whole. We need to get safer schools officers back into schools that hits on those issues around stabbings on the way home from schools. We also need to get our safer neighbourhood teams back in there, connecting with communities, in particular with young people. And we have to look at reducing exclusions because there's a direct correlation between exclusions and crime.
All of this takes resources. It takes resources
can change
and numbers and police numbers. You're a former Met Superintendent.
Absolutely, but these things can be brought in immediately. Instead of just bringing larger amounts of officers who are transiently going from one place to another. And these youngsters, not stupid, they just lie low until such time the police have left and they go back to their
What is your view, Lorraine, about stop and search? This very divisive, controversial strategy of basically saying, look, most of the victims at the moment appear to be young black boys. Should the police be able to go on the streets and randomly stop and search young black boys for knives?
We know that stop and search isn't the ultimate answer. We've had an increased amount of stop and search, and we've had an increased amount of numbers of kids being killed. We need to focus on the intervention with young people so that they don't carry knives.
The root cause is
starting
from the home, you think?
And to be quite honest, The police themselves, they're seeing footage that the average person wouldn't see of a young person being stabbed multiple times. That must have an effect on them. So I've been getting countless videos of stop and search happening in the most brutal way. And they're human beings. Stop and search is not the ultimate answer, and we can't give that to parents now.
You know what, Lorraine, we wanted to get you guys in at the last minute today because we just thought this is too big a story that we have to do this. I'd like to spend more time with you. We don't have it today. Love you to come back next week, probably have a bigger panel, a bigger debate, really try and get to the fundamentals of this. Would you come back?
Most definitely.
Because I just think it's so important that we do this.
We just need a paradigm shift.
Yeah.
And immediately, and not in denial.
And it's
So many people-
it's multifaceted.
Absolutely.
It needs to be multi-targeted. And there's a number of issues here. We really appreciate you coming. Your passion says it all. You lost your son to this. You want to
Most
stop
powerful voice.
others having the same thing that you went through. And we totally get that, and we want to help you do that.